Hey guys, today we're going to be diving a bit into RuneScape Dragonwilds. It's my first impressions, so just going to do a video kind of overlooking the overall feel of things and how I'm liking it. I am going to be doing a series on this game. I am a bit of a connoisseur of survival games, so there will be a series of that here coming soon. But first, let's go ahead and jump into it. Character creation. Oh yeah. So I honestly enjoy the simple character creation. I do like whenever you can really get in depth with your customization with it, but honestly, whenever this kind of fun art style is in play, I enjoy the simple but effective customization. So as you see here, I'm just throwing something together real quick just to run through the ups and downs of what we're. Wow. Alright, so as you launch into the game, you'll be greeted with a very nice loading screen, and then it's going to go into a little bit of a cinematic, so I'm going to let that play for y'all.
Adventure called, a brave few answered, and the expedition set sail. Among them, an elite band of explorers, some of Gillinor's finest. They were bound for uncharted waters in pursuit of a legend. Ashenfall. Had only they known the danger. Dragons, winged death descended from the skies. Blades were drawn and spells cast, but the dragons rained ruin. And so they vanished into the wild. They adapted, endured, wielded magic, sharp as steel, wits keen as arrows, always searching for a way to call for aid. And at last, they found it. The heroes are on their way, and the dragons, they'll never see it coming.
Okay, so my first impressions of the art style is I absolutely loved it. The lighting is awesome. The effects is cool. The world feels very filled, even though you can play solo, and that's what I'm doing in this one. I do personally enjoy reading the dialogue, so I'm glad they have that in there. The little grunt sounds they make, it's kind of comical. I like that. I did choose to do the tutorial, mainly just so can kind of see how inviting the game is through the tutorial. And but yeah, we'll get right into that here just a moment. And now, I mean, just get a look at this. The game is just, it feels really nice. It does have a couple frame spikes here and there. I do have a decent computer, but as you'll see whenever the dragons fly overhead, there is a bit of an FPS drop. I don't know if that's for everybody, but so far, the game has absolutely hooked my interest. As we're going to see as I'm getting into it, the game is very basic survival elements to it. Gather everything pretty much in the world. Most things are interactable. I have not sure how to collect this bush. But as you can see on the bottom left, we do have a food and water meter, and also that is a rest meter, which later on I'll get more into that. But it is a pretty much a out the gate a pretty basic survival game. Very inviting elements to it, simple to understand. So. The tutorial does a really good job at introducing all of the basic elements of the game. Here's where it's going to kind of walk us through a little bit of combat. Pretty simple, standard survival-based combat. You're going to be left-click to attack, right-click to block. Eventually, you do unlock skills, which is awesome. Very simple. You don't have to pick any skills, but you do get to kind of determine how you're going to be playing your character. So for instance, like right now we're using a one-handed club, so we're going to be leveling up combat, melee combat. But it does feel really good. Dodging is pretty fun. There's a couple gimmicks here and there, like as you saw, I feel like I just swung at the rat and I missed somehow. But other than that, I mean, a really nice looking combat. I'm just trying to see if any of this stuff is breakable. But there's dodging, there is blocking, and honestly, overall, this feels pretty good. I enjoyed it personally, and it just gets so much better as you go on. When it comes to the crafting system, it's pretty simple, pretty easy to understand. You just put in, at the top there, you just put in what you're trying to use, like as the ingredient, and then in the bottom you see the timer and what it's gonna produce, and then it just kind of spits it out right next to the whatever table or so, whatever function it is doing, and right next to those things. And so it's pretty nice. I do enjoy it. I like the little animations, but very simple, very easy to use, and I do enjoy that. So as we get into kind of the harvesting part of the game, kind of like classic RuneScape fashion, it's very grindy, but it feels very good. It's very relaxing. Honestly, like I could see this game being like you get on after a long day of work and you just go around and cut some trees down, and it is super satisfying. As you can see here, I do learn how to do an overhead chop. So kind of get into that. It just adds another bit of flair, and also does a little bit extra damage, speeds up the process. Once I figured out, there we go. So it's just a right click. Yeah, it does take a while. Like if you're trying to build some significantly large structures, it's going to take a minute to gather all the materials for it. But honestly, it's a great sense of like accomplishment whenever you actually do manage to get it. And I'm sure as you progress through the game, you'll get higher quality axes, or as we already know, it's the magic that will come through, and it'll make this a lot faster of a process. So it's a very satisfying and well thought out collecting system, I feel like. So as you've probably seen the game releasing, and then as I've mentioned a couple times, there's some magic in this game. These are rune geysers, or crystal geysers, however you want to call them. From my understanding so far, you harvest these stones, they give you rune essence, which will eventually lead into the ability to do magic spells. So it's a pretty neat little system. Again, it's another collecting, farming system, but it, I think, does really well and very easy to spot. So these things are easy to see from a mile away. So what I'm placing here is a rune altar. This is how you create your runes, your astral runes, air runes. That's all I can get right now. And from my understanding, I'm just going to split them up just to, I don't know, just kind of see everything that we can make. And this is kind of like your spinders, kind of like mana in most games, but these are like your spinders or ammunition for magic casting spells. The spell casting system feels good. You hold Q, pulls up that little wheel. You have to cast it, so it can be kind of dangerous in combat unless if things change. Again, this is first impressions. But that one there was used air runes and allows me to slow fall and jump higher. So I have a feeling that I know what that's going to be used for, probably exploration or in dungeons and such like that. But it's a good feeling system so far. So to me, it's very important for a good construction system. This one I think is pretty solid overall. It has like all great beginnings, it has a couple gimmicky things that I think will hopefully get worked out, which I'll talk about it more in a little bit. But when it comes to the downright basics of the crafting of the construction system, base building in here feels solid. There's a couple clipping problems, as you can see here, but everything feels very solid. There's a good, as you could probably say, a good foundation. No pun intended. Actually, pun intended. There's a good foundation for the construction system. You can pretty much do anything you want. They have seemed to put a lot of emphasis on decorations and customization of your own home in the game. Which I will go into that a little bit more, but to keep it kind of simple, I see this is the magic axe that I was super excited to use for the first time. That collection of all of the wood does take a while, but this speeds it up a great deal. See, cut down both those trees. But when I get back into it, I keep my house here that's pretty simple, just because lower levels you do not have a lot of stuff unlocked. A lot of this stuff gets unlocked in the open world, and as you learn it, it'll become more and more fun. You can just make your own place your own, and it does a very good job at doing that. So this is I'm just gonna let a little quick video of me building the world's ugliest house and kind of go from there. So when it comes to my first impressions so far, which again, I'm going to be playing a full series on this. So if this game at all interests you, please feel free to watch. I'll be uploading once a week. I think I'm going to be playing this for a while. So far, the feel, you know how like whenever you're playing a game, you get that feeling that you're going to enjoy it. It's what I'm getting with this one. Exploration games, base building has always been something I absolutely love. So, and I like how in depth this feels already, and I've just only started. So, but overall, my impressions, I'll go over kind of what everyone finds important. Just going to be crafting systems, skill systems, leveling up, combat, and just overall feel of the game. When it comes to combat, I think it's good. I think it's fun. It's very inviting, easy to do. Again, this is early release, so there's a couple things that are a little finicky here and there, but it is a lot of fun. And on my first video that I'm going to be uploading next week is when I get into the casting and mage type stuff, which is, don't even get me started, it's a ton of fun. Crafting systems, I enjoy them. I like them. I like it when they keep them simple, but also I feel like they can be very in-depth at the same time. I know that might not make a ton of sense, but whenever it comes down to the casual survival players that just want to look for a game that's relaxing and long-term, I feel like this will hopefully do that. I don't know about the longevity because I got to play through the game and see what the replayability is like. But skill trees are nice. They're just, as you see here, as of right now, they're just straight down. They'll tell you what to do. They select it for you, so you can just kind of focus on whatever tree you want to work down. The world feels massive, and that's just so far. This is all stuff that's subject to change. All games do, but also opinions change too. But as of right now, I greatly enjoy what the game has to offer. I think if you're looking to get into a lighthearted survival game that might have some challenging parts of it, I guess, because I do believe there are dungeons, which here in a bit we will be dying in one, actually. But I think that, especially with a friend, grab a friend, join the game, make a beautiful house, enjoy the scenery, kill a dragon or two. But, I mean, overall, it's a RuneScape game, so what the best thing to be expected is going to be the crafting system and the leveling. It's going to be a grind, and that's what, if you guys are familiar with the game, the original game RuneScape, you'll know that is one hell of a grind. But I do like it. I'm going to be doing a pretty long series on this one. Please let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next time. And I'm going to just leave a clip of me dying in the dungeon. All right, have a good one. You guys are gonna see a little bit of a dev fun here. It's just bad decisions. I was thinking the exact same thing just a moment ago. Well, guys, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed a casual view from a casual player. Peace out.